Hey guys, Sean Alexander here for your daily math video. Today's topic is negative numbers. Now, you would think that all our students know negative numbers. Believe it or not, next to fractions, the most common thing that students don't master that causes them the most grief is negative numbers, going all the way up to seniors in high school. Okay, and what happens is if the student's uncomfortable with negative numbers, they're usually kind of embarrassed about it, don't want to admit it, and so it kind of goes under the radar, but it causes like so much grief because they never go away. They're in all your math classes, they keep coming back, and if you're not super confident on how to deal with negative numbers, then students get super stressed out. So I just want to demystify this forever. Okay, so you can see here the number line, and we're going to use the number line to demonstrate how this all works. So I'm going to start with something super easy. 2 plus 5, we all know the answer to that is 7. But I just want you to see how the number line does that. So the rule is this. We start with the first number, 2. And then you look at the sign after. If it's a plus, plus means you move to the right. Minus means you move to the left. So in this case, we start with 2. Plus means go to the right. So we're going to go to the right. An additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces to land at 7, which is the correct answer. Now I just wanted to use a simple example to get you started. Let's try 2 minus 5. Okay? So what's the rule? We start with the first number, 2. But this time we see a minus sign after the 2, so that means to go to the left 5 spaces. So from 2, we're going to go to the left this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces to land on negative 3. Cool? What if we had negative 2 minus 5? Well, that means we're going to go start with the first number, negative 2. So that is here. And then we see a minus sign in between the 2 and the 5. That means go to the left 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to land on negative 7. Okay, so the number line is the why things are the way they are. So that's how you want to think about it. So that's really all there is to it. Now, eventually you don't want to be using the number line every time. You want to be able to do this in your head. So I have a little rules just for doing it in your head quickly. Okay, and those are, there's basically only 2 cases you're going to see. If both the signs are the same, which I'm going to call same sign, and what I mean by that is they're both negative or both positive. So 2 plus 5 is an example of the signs being the same because the 2 is positive and the 5 has a plus in front of it. But also, negative 2 minus 5 is also a case of same sign because they both have minuses in front. They're the same in both cases. The rule for doing it quickly is you just forget sign for a second, just add the numbers in the simplest way possible. So for the first case, 2 plus 5 is 7. And then you want to think about what the sign of the answer is, negative or positive. And when things are the same sign, you just keep it the same. So for the first case, they were both positive. Your answer is positive. For the second case, negative 2 minus 5, we're going to just add the 2 and the 5 in the simple way, forget sign for a second to get 7 again. And then because they're same sign, the answer is going to be the same sign as you started with. In this case, they were both negative, so the answer is negative. Why is that? Well, you can see that they're basically walking in the same direction, right? So for same sign, both positive. In the first case, we start at 2, so we kind of go 1, 2 to the right, and then we go plus an additional 5. See how they're walking in the same direction? That's why we add the numbers. Conversely, for the other case, negative 2 minus 5, from 0 we go 1, 2 to the left because it's negative 2. And then we go an additional 5 to the left. Walking in the same direction. So if the signs are the same, if they're both positive numbers or both negative numbers, you add the numbers, keep the sign the same. Case 2 is their opposite sign, meaning one's positive and one's negative. So an example would be negative 2 plus 5. I'm calling this opposite sign because the 2 has a minus sign in front, the 5 has a plus sign in front, opposite sign. Okay, so the rule here is we subtract the numbers in the simplest way. Again, just forget sign for a second. Just do it in the easiest possible way. 5 minus 2 is 3. And then the sign of the larger number wins. So 5 is bigger than 2. The 5 is positive, so our answer is positive. Why is that the rule? Well, it all goes back to the number line. So for negative 2, we go 1, 2 to the left. But then we go plus 5 to the right. So we switch directions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to land on positive 3. So that's why we subtracted numbers instead of add them, because they're walking in opposite directions. I'll give you one last example of the opposite sign. I'll just flip it around. 2 minus 5. We're calling the 2 positive, even though there's not a plus sign in front, but it's still a positive 2. The 5 has a minus sign in front. That's what we call opposite sign. Okay, so what's the rule? We subtract the two numbers in the easiest possible way. 5 minus 2 is 3. And then the sign of the bigger number wins. In this case, 5 is bigger than 2. The 5 is negative. We get negative 3. Again, why is that? Go back to the number line. So we start with positive 2, meaning we're going to the right 1, 2. But now we're switching directions and going to the left 5. See how they're working against each other? That's why we subtract 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get negative 3. Okay, so I hope this demystifies negative numbers. I'm going to do more on this tomorrow. Again, don't assume that your student knows how to do this, because you'd be really surprised at how many people kind of struggle with this. So my advice is just to knock it out quick, and then you'll never have to deal with it again. Okay, guys, hope you're staying safe out there. We'll talk again tomorrow. Bye.